Hello everyone, it's Leo, and it's time to talk about episode 28 from Star Twinkle Precure. This was a very interesting and peculiar episode, and while I didn't really like the drum portion of it, it brought so many interesting things and like a nice philosophy and a very touching moment between Madoka and Elena. So at the end of the day, I really liked this episode. It was very interesting, and I feel like it brought a lot to the Star Twinkle world. The first thing I want to say about this is that I complain a lot about the world building in Star Twinkle. No, actually, I don't complain a lot, but I complain sometimes. And what I mean by that is that when they travel and they go to planets, it feels like the planets are like wasteland. They're like deserts. They feel empty. We don't see a society, we don't see people, and the little characters we see in those planets, they act like they are part of a society. They are part of something bigger, but we don't see that. And I do understand we don't really have time for that, but this episode showed us how it can be done. I mean, we've seen some planets that were inhabited, like the planet in which they first met Blue Cat. But overall, I feel like this was also another nice episode that showed us that planets in Star Twinkle can have societies, they can have inhabitants, and the planet feels more alive to me with that. And well, we've seen this planet that they're visiting in the last episode when they went into the water as mermaids. We've seen like a very vast sea life, but now we saw a different type of society that's more resemblant of our society. And I think that it was very nice, seeing those fish-like creatures, those sea-like creatures acting as we do in society. And obviously the best part was Uni drooling all over them and wanting to eat them. And Elena and Madoka were like, "Girl, hold on." And you know, the big thing about this episode was obviously fixing the rocket, and the girls went to that flame guy for him to help them. And here's the biggest problem I have with this episode. I feel like the whole fixing the rocket thing, it was done, it was written to be a cataclysm to Elena and Madoka and for them to confront each other a little bit. That was nice. Like, the confrontation was nice. But what brought them to this confrontation, I don't know. I felt like it was so out of this world, like, not literally, but it felt a little forced and not very well thought. Because when they needed to fix the rocket, that flame guy told them that they needed to work for it. And so they needed to show their heart and their resolve. And they went to do that. So he chose Madoka and Elena to maneuver that thing, that plate. I don't know what that's called, but they needed to maneuver that with their legs, and that was a very hard job. That was a very tough job. While the other girls were cooking, and that felt delicious. And I really liked when Puduns got the steak and gave to Flame into his mouth. That was a very cute moment. Like, Puduns in this episode was a hero. Puduns, I love you. But when Madoka and Elena started, it was okay. But then time went by, time was passing, and they couldn't stand it anymore. It was very tough on them. I mean, they're teenagers. They're probably not strong enough. They don't have strong legs for them to work in something like that. And it would obviously be something hard for them physically to do. But the episode and the narrative treated that as a failure, but not a physical failure. It felt like it was a failure of their hearts and of their resolve. Like, they had no motivation. That felt so strange to me, because like their legs couldn't stand it anymore, and then you see it as something that they're not trying hard enough. I don't know. That felt really strange. But both of them felt really bad, and they felt like it was their fault that they couldn't fix the rocket. And that's what I didn't like about it. But what happened after was, for me, an interesting fact that made this episode gold. Because they saw themselves, like Elena saw herself as a failure and Madoka saw herself as a failure. And it started raining, like creating that gloomy moment. The girls with wet hairs, the design, like the drawings in this part, it was so beautiful. I think that it was probably the most beautiful those two have ever looked in this series. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. I loved it. But then they went inside. The rain couldn't help them fix the rocket, and they had to wait for the rain to stop for them to be able to go there and continue. And then they had the moment to chill because that was needed. But what happened after was one of the best back and forths we had in Star Twinkle so far. I think that what brought us to that was the fact that both Elena and Madoka are not used to dealing with failure. Both of them are very successful in what they do in very different areas of life, but both of them are very successful. And that means that both of them are also very popular at school because of that, and the sun and the moon, but they're not used to dealing with the failures, you know? They're not used to dealing with that, apart from losing battles in Precure, but it feels like they don't really think about that. But they had to deal with a failure that for me didn't work, but they had to think about it. And both of them were feeling very self-depreciated because of that, but the other one couldn't really understand why the one was feeling down. Because, for example, Elena saw Madoka as someone impressive, as someone very, very powerful in life. And Madoka saw Elena that way as well. Elena saw Madoka like that because Madoka has so many abilities, she has so many responsibilities, she has so many things to do, and she never once complains about anything. She's always good in everything she does, and so she's always on top of her game every single time. And the same can be said about Elena. Madoka sees Elena as someone who's taking care of her family, taking care of her studies, taking care of the store. Everything she does with passion and with a smile on her face. She never sees Elena complaining as well. Both of them see each other as heroes, and they see each other as someone to be admired, as someone to be followed, as someone that can't be mistaken for someone who's a failure. But Elena doesn't see herself like that, and Madoka also doesn't see herself like that. And here's the most interesting thing for me. Madoka and Elena, both of them, they started understanding that they're very similar in the way they take their roles and their responsibilities in life. Both of them are very similar in that sense, and they didn't really notice that before. They didn't know how to look at themselves, and we usually don't do that. We usually complain, we usually say good things about other people, but we can't really see the good things about ourselves. And that was like the biggest thing about this episode for me. They were able to look at themselves a little more and reflect and understand that they also had good qualities. Madoka started seeing good qualities in herself, and Elena started seeing good qualities in herself as well because of that little bickering they had. That was so beautiful, and the way both of them laughed at the end. Come on, that was brilliant. I can't with those two. They're amazing. They are amazing. Elena and Madoka, I love you so much. And after that, Kapard appeared, and Kapard in this episode was really gold. I love Kapard so much, and he was like, oh, I'm so beautiful. And it was raining, and you know, Kapard being a kappa, it made him very powerful. The girls couldn't really stop him. And, you know, the fight, it could have been better, but it was fine. I liked it, and I really liked Madoka and Elena, you know, both of them taking the center stage in this battle. They took the center stage in the transformation as well. And so they fought together. They were able to get Kapard out of the battle. We obviously had the other girls fighting a little bit as well. But, you know, the center were Kurosaleo and Kurosaline. Our girls, we love them. Oh my god. Oh, they are so amazing. And you know, Kapard was also great with Kapard's strike. He was very powerful in this episode because of the water, because of the rain. And he was handsome, as he said. Like, I'm the most handsome in the whole universe. And I agree with you, Kapard. You are. we're getting married after Star Twinkle's over. Please come to Earth and save me. So I feel like this episode was really nice. Apart from this fact that we had like this little drama didn't work out for me because like, and then at the end of the episode it was all resolved because they were able to stand the leg press thing just because they felt resolve and they felt a strong power in their hearts. Like, this is a purely physical thing, and sometimes even when you're motivated, you can't do things because your body can take it. Like, it's not all about motivation, it's not all about wanting things. Our body has limits, and especially a very physical one like that. Strange. But you know, I do understand it was just a narrative thing. And Puruns was like a hero. He saved Yan Yan. He took like a beating from Kapard. Poor Puruns. But he's used to that. He always takes a beating in every single episode. But he received a kiss at the end. I'm very happy for you, Puruns. But they left at the end, and now we're going to Saman and we're going to see our little Lala and her family. I'm very curious to see them, and I'm very excited for the next episode. I think Star Twinkle is bringing it. It never stops bringing it. Anyways, guys, that was my view on episode 28. Please leave a comment, and let's keep our talk in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.